Prime Minister Narendra Modi has landed just a short while ago, and there are some visuals of a roadshow as Prime Minister is moving towards the redeveloped Ayodhya railway station. People on both sides of the road welcoming Prime Minister. These are winter months in this part of the country. The people are out enthusiastically welcoming Prime Minister's cavalcade from after landing at the newly built airport is now moving towards the redeveloped Ayodhya railway station. Ravi, if you're with us, you were telling us about the excitement in Ayodhya to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and we can see the visuals on the screens already, although it's a chilly winter day.
Yeah, Shubhendu, it's been quite misty and cold weather has, engulfed this entire North Indian Gangetic plains. It's the same sort of situation in Delhi across North India. Ayodhya is no different. It's misty, it's quite cold. But you see the sort of reception that Prime Minister is getting here in the city of Ayodhya. It's truly historic. The efforts of the people, the efforts of the administration have finally paid off. Two important infrastructure connectivity push, which will be inaugurated by the Prime Minister. They are certainly, going to give huge impetus to connectivity here in Ayodhya, and also, to make sure and give a message not only to the people in India but to pilgrims from all across the world that Ayodhya is getting ready to welcome them. Ayodhya is getting ready in its own way to increase the infrastructure, to increase the connectivity, so that whether people want to come here via the train route or the air route, they are most welcome to visit the temple town. And as such, the local administration, the state government and the center also expect a huge influx, a huge rush of tourists and pilgrims in the coming week, months and years ahead.
And those visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's cavalcade moving from the airport towards the redeveloped Ayodhya railway station. Prime Minister would be launching and laying the foundation stones of significant development projects, more than 15,700 crore rupees. People out to the pavements to welcome Prime Minister. Ravi, we also see the manner in which the temple town is all decked up to welcome Prime Minister. There are cultural performances that are also underway. In the visuals, we can see Prime Minister's cavalcade moving slowly from the airport to the railway station. Give us a sense of the manner in which the temple town is all decked up. In the visuals, we see flowers being showered by the people of Ayodhya as they stand on the pavements to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Ravi, just take us through the significance of Ayodhya also for the benefit of our viewers in the religious, cultural consciousness of India.
Well, Shubhendu, the visuals that the viewers are watching right now, they are quite historic. For many decades, Ayodhya has waited for its place under the sun, for its place in the annals of history, for its place in the cultural, religious corridor of India. And now the people of Ayodhya finally think that their time has also come. Finally, the city is witnessing a push, a great infra push, and the beautification work started a week back to welcome the Prime Minister. The roads were washed, they were cleaned, they were swept, and they have been the workers and the city residents have been waiting in the wings to welcome Prime Minister for this day and for January 22nd, of course, which the entire country will be awaiting. There are many infra projects which the Prime Minister will be inaugurating, as you just said.
Ravi, just
many
a
of
moment,
them relate to widening of
viewers.
the streets here in Ayodhya so that the city is ready.
Let me apprise the viewers of the visuals that they're watching on the screens. This is Prime Minister Narendra Modi visiting the temple town of Ayodhya. People, it's all decked up. It's beautifully decorated, cultural performances. Prime Minister himself acknowledging the warm reception in Ayodhya. People are out. It's a cold, wintry day, but people are out, all enthusiastic, some showering flowers, some waving at the Prime Minister, and Prime Minister with equal warmth responding and reciprocating the acknowledgement of the people of Ayodhya. It's a big day for the temple town. Mega development projects, particularly connectivity projects, are set to be launched by Prime Minister. Prime Minister said to launch he just landed, of course, at the newly built international airport of Ayodhya, to be known as Maharshi Valmiki Airport. And his cavalcade is slowly moving towards, and those visuals are coming in live now from the temple town of Ayodhya in the northern state of Uttar Pradesh in India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi receiving a warm welcome by the people of Ayodhya who come out early in the day. We also see youngsters, young children, and also priests welcoming Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And Prime Minister also warmly reciprocating the special welcome by the people of Ayodhya. It's a big day for the temple town. Mega infrastructure projects, as I was mentioning, to be launched by Prime Minister. He just landed at the newly developed international airport, Maharshi Valmiki Airport, and being showered by flower petals. People are also running to catch up with Prime Minister's cavalcade as it slowly makes its way towards the redeveloped Ayodhya railway station. The airport, the railway station, and the other projects are expected to significantly boost the connectivity of the erstwhile sleepy temple town of Ayodhya as it now steps into the 21st century, as my correspondent Ravi Dhiman was saying, finds its place in the sun. And there Prime Minister Narendra Modi waving and reciprocating to the warm welcome by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. People of Ayodhya decked up on both sides in their special attire, cultural attire, dresses. There are performances also underway, different parts of the stretch where Prime Minister's cavalcade is passing through. And Ravi, once again, there's much excitement among people to find Prime Minister Narendra Modi among them. They're waving at the Prime Minister. Prime Minister is waving back at them. Take us through the big day as it is today, especially with regards to connectivity. He landed at the airport and now he moved towards the newly developed Ayodhya railway station. Ravi.
Exactly, Shubhendu. If you see, Ayodhya railway station has also been renamed as Ayodhya Dham Junction. It resembles, from the outside, the Nagara style of temple architecture, and from the inside, it rivals that of any international airport. The main lobby of Platform 1 has all the modern amenities that the passengers, might need when they come to Ayodhya. The corridor that leads to the main entrance of the railway station, also lined by concrete pillars, looks like that of any international airport. Apart from the railway station and the international airport that the Prime Minister will inaugurate, he will also inaugurate redeveloped and widened and beautified roads in the city. 4 roads have been widened and beautified. Prime Minister will be inaugurating them. And also a number of projects that will go a long way in strengthening the civic infrastructure and make the public places more adorable in and around the city will be inaugurated. That will include there's a state medical college, the 4-lane road which will connect Ayodhya, Sultanpur, and many other such projects. So indeed a very big day for the residents. Projects worth more than 15,000 crore is it's not a small thing to achieve for any government, for one particular city. And by this, the center and the state government have also, showed their willingness to walk extra mile to make Ayodhya, a city with all the modern amenities, modern facilities for the pilgrims, for the rush of pilgrims in days and months and, years to come. So that this city which has its own historical importance and legacy, is ready for the future when many pilgrims and many devotees will, land up in Ayodhya to pay their respects at the Ram temple. And Shubhendu, I will not be wrong and off the track when I say that we are witnessing some sort of a beginning of a new era for Ayodhya today when these infrastructure projects are being launched. Ayodhya will step into a new road, step into a new era. Today, when the infrastructure push the city is witnessing, it will bring in more pilgrims, and that will have an effect on the economy. That will have an effect on the overall prosperity of the city, the overall structure of the city. The civic amenities are being, upgraded. They are being made world class in an effort to make the city prepare for the influx and the rush of tourists and pilgrims in days ahead. In some days, it's a big turning point, a giant leap, we can say, for the city, and all thanks to the center and the state government, which have worked in tandem to make this possible. Shubhendu.
Giant leap there for Ayodhya into an era of development, mega infrastructure projects set to be launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Those visuals coming in live from the temple town of Ayodhya. Ayodhya is a town in the northern Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. What you see on screen are excited locals of Ayodhya. There are priests, there are local residents, youngsters, students. They've all queued up. They're thronging the streets to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And the view that you're getting off the screen right now, it's also the view of the Prime Minister as he is also warmly reciprocating to the welcome by the locals of Ayodhya. Ayodhya is set to receive the gift of mega development projects in just a bit from today, as Prime Minister is in the temple town to launch the mega projects. Just a short while ago, he landed, in fact, at the new international airport of Ayodhya, and people excited, thronging the streets of Ayodhya, and there Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the cavalcade, waving at the warm reception being received in the temple town of Ayodhya. All decked up for the mega infrastructure projects. Those visuals, Prime Minister Narendra Modi warmly reciprocating to the warmth that he receives from the people of Ayodhya. Ravi, you were telling us about what these mega development projects mean for Ayodhya. We understand in the run-up to the Ram temple construction and its inauguration, there is expected to be a great influx of pilgrims and peoples from all across the country and the world to this temple town. I mean, it would require preparation to accommodate, to welcome so many pilgrims. In that regard, how is the day significant, especially a greenfield township whose foundation stone is going to be launched today?
That's true, Shubhendu. As we were just explaining, a huge, a big gift of infrastructure push by the Prime Minister to the town of Ayodhya, renovated railway station, a greenfield airport, inauguration of widened roads, and laying the foundation stone of many other projects, including what you just said, is a new greenfield township which will be developed at cost of more than 2,100 crore rupees. So that's and a residential scheme within Ayodhya, which will also be launched by the Prime Minister. The foundation stone will be laid. Now, Greenfield Township, we all know, it's an effort by the administration, by the centre and the state to improve, the availability of residential spaces for people who might want to move into Ayodhya. Many people would want to come to Ayodhya, or many people would want to have a permanent place of residence in Ayodhya. Many people of Ayodhya would want to have their own house in a better locality, in a bigger locality with wide roads and wide infrastructure. So this new Greenfield Township will be also, the foundation stone will be laid. And it's not in any way a very small task. It's a mammoth exercise that the government has undertaken to have entirely a new township at the cost of more than 2,100 crores. And this entails a whole lot of activities, from laying of sewage lines to managing the traffic, managing the electricity connection, the water connection, and everything else. So this will entail a whole lot of exercise by all the agencies concerned. Another step, to make Ayodhya a world-class city. Apart from that, there'll be, we have just about the railway station and the airfield. These are two routes which are very prevalent for international travelers. But for the local travelers who would want to come to Ayodhya by road, and there would be a majority of them who would come by road, the government has undertaken a major exercise to widen the roads, increase the road connectivity to Ayodhya, increase the road connectivity from Ayodhya to other parts of the UP, which will then connect Ayodhya to many other states. All these infrastructure projects will be launched by the Prime Minister. So all in all, I mean, today is a day when Ayodhya, we can say, which was not given its due for the past many decades. It lacked proper infrastructure, it lacked proper connectivity. And today we can say, as we say in Hindi, chappar phad ke, all the infra projects, all the the infrastructure connectivity projects which Ayodhya deserved and it most importantly needs now are being given, and all these projects, many of them are ready, many of them will be started. The PM will lay the foundation stone of them. And in coming years, we'll definitely see a new Ayodhya from what the city is now. It will be a totally transformed city, ready to welcome millions and millions of passengers annually, millions of pilgrims annually, to make sure that their stay here in Ayodhya is a comfortable one and their journey to and from Ayodhya is comfortable. Shubhendu.
And the excitement there in Ayodhya continues. Special cultural performances have also been set up on the road pavements as Prime Minister's cavalcade makes its way from the airport to the railway station. Those visuals coming in live from the temple town of Ayodhya in the northern Indian city of Uttar Pradesh. The locals all out on the pavements, waving at Prime Minister's cavalcade, and Prime Minister also out of his car, responding with warmth to the special welcome in the temple town of Ayodhya. Prime Minister is visiting Ayodhya to inaugurate and dedicate to nation and lay the foundation stone of multiple development projects worth more than rupees 15,700 crores. Humbly acknowledging the warmth received by the people of Ayodhya, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in those live visuals coming in from the temple town of Ayodhya. His car, his cavalcade, is also now getting decked up with the flower petals being showered at him from the pavements by the people. Many are also running alongside to keep pace with Prime Minister's cavalcade. Ayodhya and its surrounding areas are set to benefit from several key development projects worth more than 11,100 crore rupees, in line with Prime Minister's vision to revamp the civic facilities and develop world-class infrastructure in Ayodhya. For now, all eyes on the special roadshow, Prime Minister's cavalcade, moving from the newly developed international airport to the redeveloped Ayodhya railway station. Later today, Prime Minister will inaugurate the Ayodhya airport facade of the terminal building to depict the temple architecture of the upcoming Sri Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. Prime Minister will also inaugurate Ayodhya Dham Junction railway station. He will give a green signal to start operations of 2 new Amrit Bharat trains as well. He will flag off those trains. He will also flag off 6 new Vande Bharat trains. All this information is important from the perspective of the manner in which the connectivity infrastructure of Ayodhya is set to see a historic transformation marked by this visit of the Prime Minister. For now, those visuals coming in live of Prime Minister Modi's massive roadshow in Ayodhya. My colleague Ravi Dhiman has been in Ayodhya covering the developments in the temple town. Ravi, we see dhol nagaras also being played and much excitement among people to welcome Prime Minister. You've been in the city, in the town for a few days now. Give us a sense of how do the people, the locals, the youngsters see these transformations taking place in front of their eyes?
Well, the youngsters and the old alike, Shubhendu, they are witnessing a huge, transformation in the city's fortune. And those who have witnessed the neglect of past many decades are now witnessing a flurry of activity. And obviously, they are delighted at the, chain of events that are unfolding in front of their eyes. As I told you, many wouldn't have believed that the Ayodhya city will have a, sparkling new greenfield airport for itself a few years ago, a few decades ago. Such has been the overnight transformation for this city that, many residents are now believing that better things indeed will come their way in coming months and years, and there will be economic boom. One thing I would like to mention here, that when we entered the city, the twin cities of Faizabad and Ayodhya, when we entered, we saw many hotels, many buildings which were being completed. So the city administration and the local, businessmen are also getting ready for the influx of tourists. There are many hotels which are being prepared, which are coming up along the main highway route and all across the city to cater to international and national tourists. Earlier, when you would come to Ayodhya, you would find less amount of hotels. The rooms availability was always a problem. But now there is a flurry of activity in the tourism sector, in the hospitality sector, and many the room capacity, the rooms, number of rooms available in 3-star or 4-star hotels will go up significantly in months to come. And Ayodhya will finally, as we have been saying, get its due. This historical city, which has its own religious and cultural importance, will finally have what it deserved for long and what it really needs right now. Among the trains that you mentioned, Shubhendu, Amrit Bharat and Vande Bharat, 2 trains, one Amrit Bharat train and one Vande Bharat train, will originate from Ayodhya. So the rail, not only the renovated railway station, but enhanced rail connectivity with world-class, train connections is also being guaranteed for Ayodhya in a sense. Vande Bharat can bring in people, and both will have connectivity from Delhi. So Vande Bharat and Amrit Bharat will connect thousands of pilgrims in days to come to Ayodhya, who can rest assured have a comfortable train journey and come to this temple town to pay their respects.
Ravi, when we talk about the temple town, and there we have special cultural performances also taking place, as those live visuals coming in from Ayodhya as Prime Minister's cavalcade, a special road show passes from the airport and move towards the railway station. Ravi, we use this phrase temple town, and the temple that perhaps is on everyone's mind is the Sri Ram temple, Sri Ram Mandir, that is coming up in Ayodhya. What can you tell us about the progress as far as its construction is concerned? And also, there are several connectivity road infrastructure for the temple as well. The roads will have to be widened for the massive influx of pilgrims and tourists anticipated in the run-up and after the inauguration of the temple.
That's true, Shubhendu. There are 4 roads that have been widened. The capacity of these roads has been increased because the administration also anticipates a huge rush once the temple is opened. A huge rush of pilgrims to reach the temple and pay their respects, to offer prayers. So 4 roads in the temple town for Ayodhya have been widened. Prime Minister will be inaugurating these widened roads. And apart from that, as I just mentioned, there are many highway projects which the Prime Minister will dedicate to the nation that will increase the width of those highways or increase the road connectivity with Ayodhya of many cities, of nearby cities. So all across you see the road connectivity is being enhanced, the rail connectivity is being enhanced, and Ayodhya has its own sparkling new international airport. All this is an effort to meet the requirements of the future, because many believe, we have been talking to many experts, and many believe that Ayodhya was waiting for this day to come. January 22nd is going to be another important, I think the most important day in the modern history of Ayodhya. So from January 22nd onwards, there will be a huge rush of pilgrims who will descend to Ayodhya to pay their respects finally at the temple. And it is all these efforts are a step in that direction to meet that infrastructure challenge, because you see, when the pilgrims come, they'll come from all directions, they'll come from all corners of India, and some even from abroad to pay respects, and then the temple town has to be ready for them. So all these road widening projects, the new railway terminal and the new international airports are effort in that direction. As I told you, the hospitality industry is also stepping up the pedal here. There are many new hotels are coming up, so the room capacity will increase manifold, not in months but in days to come. That many of the hotels that we saw were nearing completion, with final touches being given. We can say with certainty that within a fortnight or a month, Ayodhya will have many more rooms which the city can offer to the tourists and pilgrims here. And all the roads leading to the Ram temple, there have been effort to make that make the approach to the temple friendly, and approach to the temple in a much better than what it is right now.
Right, Ravi, and for our viewers who are tuning in from outside of India, who may not be familiar with the heritage of Ayodhya, what can you tell us about the manner in which the Ram temple, Lord Ram, the legacy also bears an imprint on the infrastructure projects of airport, the railway station, as far as their name, their architecture is concerned?
Well, the architecture of both the railway station and the renovated railway station and the airport has taken inspiration from the Ram temple architecture. The railway station, where on the outside, it has two large steeples resembling a temple. It has domes resembling a temple. The outside of the station is on the Nagara temple architecture style. And when we talk about the international airport, Maharishi Valmiki International Airport, it has 12 domes, smaller domes and one large dome, and it is truly inspired by the design and infrastructure, the design and architecture of the Ram temple, which will come up, which is coming up to completion in Ayodhya. Other things also, in the temple town, as the viewers have just seen, when the Prime Minister is being welcomed all across the city, is inspired by the legacy of the Ram temple. The Ram temple, the architecture and the art of that temple, the Nagara style of temple architecture, that's all the more visible all across the city. And as Ayodhya finds its place under the sun, more such infrastructure projects will be inaugurated, and they will be dedicated to the nation, dedicated to the city. They will all bear resemblance in some way or the other to this rich historical legacy of the city. And quite rightly so. This has been due, and the time for the city and its legacy to reclaim its, its claim under the sun, reclaim its name under the sun has come.
And sounds of traditional music that you can hear in those live visuals coming in from Ayodhya. Prime Minister Narendra Modi participating in a massive roadshow from the newly built airport to the redeveloped Ayodhya Dham railway station. The airport is named Maharshi Valmiki International Airport. And for those who may not be familiar, Maharshi Valmiki, the saint poet who is celebrated as the traditional author of the epic of Ramayana, which tells the story of Lord Ram. And Ayodhya is said to be Lord Ram's kingdom, the place where he was born. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi warmly engaging, acknowledging the warm reception by the people of Ayodhya. These are winter months in India, in the northern part of India in particular, but people have been out since morning, thronging the pavements to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi as he makes his way through the massive roadshow in Ayodhya, moving from the airport to the railway station. Prime Minister will be inaugurating, laying foundation stone of multiple development projects worth more than 15,000 crore rupees today. Ayodhya and its surrounding areas are set to benefit from the development projects. This is in line with Prime Minister's vision to revamp the civic infrastructure facilities, develop a world-class infrastructure in Ayodhya. He will inaugurate the Ayodhya airport, also the Ayodhya Dham railway junction, the redeveloped railway station. There will be new trains that are going to be flagged off by Prime Minister. There are Amrit Bharat trains, also Vande Bharat trains, boosting the connectivity that people of Ayodhya and people across India will benefit from. To enhance the accessibility to the upcoming Sri Ram Mandir, Prime Minister is also set to inaugurate 4 newly redeveloped, widened and beautified roads in the temple town. There is also going to be a special ceremony of foundation stone laying of a township in Ayodhya being developed at a cost of more than 2,100 crore rupees. Alongside, Prime Minister will inaugurate and dedicate to the nation various other development projects. Thousands of crores across the state of Uttar Pradesh. That's where Ayodhya is located. My colleague Ravi Dhiman is getting us the latest from Ayodhya as we watch these live visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's cavalcade participating in a special roadshow and people thronging the streets to welcome Prime Minister Modi. Ravi, all the opportunities and infrastructure projects that are coming up now, that also speaks volumes of the opportunities that will increase for the youth, for youngsters in this temple town. A lot of times from these smaller towns, the young had to migrate to cities to find job opportunities, to start their businesses. But with so much investment and connectivity projects coming up now, there is much for the youth of Ayodhya to also look forward to.
Well, that's true, Shubhendu, because you see the tourism sector, whether it be tourism for recreational purposes or religious tourism, brings in many jobs which are labor intensive, which are human resources intensive, just like the hospitality sector or the transportation sector, the medical tourism sector. All these sectors will get a big boost here in Ayodhya with the opening of temple next year. All these things will get a massive boost. There will be new hotels in the town which will give rise to local employment. The local youth will get jobs in these hotels which are coming up in large numbers in and around Ayodhya. Apart from that, many other things which follow a major development in any part of the nation, any part of the world, will naturally come up in Ayodhya. There would be, we can say for sure, there would be many more film shootings organized here. There'll be many more people who would like to come to Ayodhya to record what's going on, the historical events that will be unfolding here in the temple town. All these will bring in people here who would come to the city, spend money here. That will give rise to local employment opportunities for the local youth, opportunities for the local businessmen. UP has been, in the forefront of promoting one district, one product all across the state. Not only Ayodhya, but the nearby districts will also, benefit from this boon of tourists who would come. They would like to take back with them memories of their Ayodhya visit. They would like to take back something which reminds them of this trip to Ayodhya, which is unique to Ayodhya. So all these, one district, one product schemes, which, give rise to employment in the villages surrounding the main cities, would also get a boost. There would be many other things, like Ayodhya will have its prominent place in the temple circuit. That will also give rise to more tourists coming here. Many people would come here to study the effect once the temple is open to the devotees and pilgrims, what effect these have on the economy, what effect these have on the local industry. And as the number of tourists increases, it will give rise to ancillary industries. It will give rise to many other businesses which will spring up not only in Ayodhya but also in nearby towns. So it will have its own domino effect on the economy, overall economy of as a whole, and it will bring in many artisans who would prepare idols of Ram, which pilgrims and devotees would like to take back with them, miniature replicas of the Ram temple, which will also, it's a labor-intensive work which takes many hours to complete. So all these things will have a cascading effect, and this infra push, not only for the airport or the railway station, but also the infra push for the city, is just an effort to prepare Ayodhya to be ready to meet this challenge when it comes to take full benefit of the increased influx of tourists, to take the benefit of the increased spending which the tourists will bring with them to this city. So all in all, this will bring, the hotel industry comes up, there are new hotels, it will give rise to demand from the hotel industry for not only the laborers or blue collar jobs, but also for chefs and other people who would be employed by the hotel industry. So all these things would increase the economy, the GDP, we can say, of Ayodhya in days and months to come, and it will have its own effect. The effects will trickle down to the normal person on the street of Ayodhya, because he will also benefit in one way or the other of increased economic activity in this region. Shubhendu.
And flower petals continue to be showered on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's cavalcade, testimony to the warmth of welcome that Ayodhya is known for. People of Ayodhya warmly welcoming Prime Minister Narendra Modi. His cavalcade is moving from the airport, and now it's moving towards the redeveloped railway station. Big gift of development projects, infrastructure for Ayodhya today, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi makes his way through the roads of Ayodhya. Ravi, you were telling us about the manner in which the tourism potential is going to be transformed. Of course, it's the revered Ram temple comes up. Ayodhya is also an important part of what is called the Ramayan circuit in religious tourism. And given that Ramayan, the story of Lord Ram, Ayodhya being the birthplace of Lord Ram, how significant would this temple town be in the larger religious circuit around Ramayan in the country?
Well, Shubhendu, this will be an important place in the Ramayana circuit. Lord Ram was born here, so obviously, in a sense, we could say that Ramayana circuit, people who would think of doing the Ramayana circuit or going to the pilgrimage would like to begin their journey from here, from Ayodhya, in a sense, to give them a resemblance that they began their journey from where Lord Ram was born in this town of Ayodhya. And hospitality sector, as you mentioned, Shubhendu, will bring in many benefits to the entire region. We have seen world over, many nations, smaller nations, which don't have much of an industry, which don't have, a huge service sector, but they survive on hospitality, they survive on tourism sector. Many small nations, in the Indian Ocean region or off the coast of Africa, they have excellent tourism potential, which they have, tapped it fully, and they have welcomed tourists with open hands and arms. And the tourism sector has benefited the local economy in a huge way. You see, in the Caribbean, they are small nations, they don't have much of an economy, but the tourists that they attract is more than enough to sustain, the livelihood of many people there. So there is no reason that the same will not be replicated here in Ayodhya, given the importance of this place, the historical and cultural importance of this place, the cultural importance of Lord Ram in the India's cultural and religious map, and this place will attract many tourists. They will attract many pilgrims, and who will come from all corners of India and the world. In a way, this will have a domino effect on the economy. For example, someone coming from South India, so the hotel industry will have to be prepared for, their own eating choices, their own dishes. The South Indian dishes will have to be prepared here, so the chefs will have to be prepared. They will have to make special preparations for international tourists who would like to come and visit this temple town. All across the world, history is replete with such examples that one thing, a small thing or a big thing, which has the potential to transform the entire area, the entire region, often results in a huge boost to the local economy. So, Ayodhya will have its place under the sun. Ayodhya will reclaim its rightful place, and thanks to the temple which is coming up, and this infra push, which is making the city ready for the influx. In coming months and years, we'll see, hectic economic activity in the region, which we'll see more employment being generated for the local youth. We'll see many more big companies, touching base with Ayodhya, trying to have their presence in Ayodhya. Not only in the hospitality sector, but when there is an influx of tourists from all across India, all across the world, many of the companies who would want to be noticed would want to set up banners and so in effect it will have a very good effect on the local economy, which will be relevant, which will be known only when the tourists start coming in, and together with them they will bring a whole bouquet of opportunities for the local youth, for the local businessmen, for the local people. And if there is a boom in some sector in some region, the benefits of that boom often trickle down to the last person standing in the line. So the entire city is going to benefit immensely from the hectic tourist and pilgrim activity in days to come. Shubhendu.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi's cavalcade makes its way through the roads and lanes of Ayodhya. Prime Minister himself warmly acknowledging and reciprocating the welcome by the people of Ayodhya, people of all age groups, from all sections of society, thronging the lanes of Ayodhya to welcome Prime Minister. To enhance accessibility to the upcoming Sri Ram Mandir, Prime Minister will later today inaugurate 4 newly redeveloped and widened beautified roads in the temple town: Rampath, Bhakti Path, Dharam Path and Sri Ram Janmabhoomi Path. Prime Minister will also inaugurate and dedicate to the nation a number of projects that will strengthen the civic infrastructure, beautify the public places in and around Ayodhya. These inaugurated projects would include Rajshri Dashrath Autonomous State Medical College. There is going to be a 4-lane road connecting Ayodhya, Sultanpur Road Airport, 4-lane road till Deri Bazaar, Sri Ram Janmabhoomi via NH27, several beautified roads across the city, alongside Ayodhya bypass as well. A number of roads there also being redone and widened in preparation for what Ayodhya is going to become in the coming days and week, as it also awaits the inauguration of Sri Ram Mandir, the Sri Ram Temple. And once that happens, the temple town is expected to witness and welcome unprecedented number of pilgrims, tourists from across India and also from different parts of the world. Ravi, what can you tell us about the progress that is being made as far as the construction of the Ram Temple is concerned? Because that also is right at the center of this excitement that people are expressing as they welcome Prime Minister in the temple town.
Well, Shubhendu, I think it's just a few, the last phase of completion. Prime Minister is going to come here on January 22nd as per the schedule for the consecration ceremony, and after that Ayodhya will really step into really a new era for the city when the temple will be thrown open to the pilgrims and devotees from all across the world. And this temple town is getting ready to, welcome all these visitors to the city. For that, not only the temple, but as you told, 4 new lanes which will lead to the temple, the ghats which are being, new concrete ghats which are coming up, the beautification roads and development of tourist facilities. We already have witnessed Deepotsav here in Ayodhya. All these things will invite more and more pilgrims to this temple town, and from what we see all across the city, the infrastructure, connectivity infrastructure being ramped up, the city just looks like ready to welcome all these with open arms.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi continues to engage with the people of Ayodhya as he receives a warm welcome. There are flowers, petals being showered at him. His cavalcade, his car also seems to be loaded with it. There are cultural performances taking place to welcome Prime Minister. My colleague Ravi Dhiman is getting us minute-to-minute update of Prime Minister's visit to the temple town of Ayodhya. Ravi, you mentioned about ghats. Each of the temple towns on the banks of rivers in India are also famous for their ghats. Ayodhya is no different on the banks of the holy river Saryu. Give us also a sense of the manner in which the ghats are being transformed, are being beautified. There is also the very famous and revered Ram Ki Paidi, a sort of canal of Saryu river, parallel to the river. Tell us about how these very renowned spots of Ayodhya are also getting an upgrade as we speak.
Shubhendu, the new, the beautification projects and the infrastructure projects also include these things of religious importance to the pilgrims. As you said, the ghats, or the place where the tourists often take a holy dip in the river, and the concrete steps are made to facilitate their descent. and take a holy dip in the river and come back. These ghats, new concrete ghats, will be coming up in the city. What we know from the government's release is that Guptar Ghat and Raj Ghat will be coming up, and there are many pre-built ghats. Rehabilitation work of those ghats is also taking place. There are many ghats like the Naya Ghat and Lakshman Ghat. And interconnectivity between these ghats is also being taken up by the local administration. As you talked about the Ram Ki Paidi, there is a construction of a visitor gallery for the Deepotsav, where Ayodhya celebrates Deepavali with lighting of lakhs of earthen diyas to mark the occasion. So there will be a construction of a visitor gallery at Ram Ki Paidi, and there will be, further toning up and strengthening of pilgrim path from Ram Ki Paidi to Raj Ghat and Raj Ghat to Ram Temple. I mean, these names might sound new to many of the viewers, but they give a sense of the mammoth task that the local administration and the state government is undertaking to ensure that all-round development of Ayodhya is ensured before it starts receiving thousands and thousands of pilgrims, and to ensure that nothing is left unturned, no stone is left unturned in the efforts to ensure that Ayodhya and all the places of religious and cultural importance in Ayodhya are ready to welcome the tourists with open arms. Shubhendu.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's mega roadshow in Ayodhya continues. It's been over 50 minutes since Prime Minister Narendra Modi landed at the new Maharshi Valmiki International Airport in Ayodhya. Since then, his cavalcade has been moving through the roads and lanes of Ayodhya. The pavements thronged by the locals, people from all walks of life, priests, youngsters, children, locals, some in their traditional attire, some putting up a cultural performance, all in their own manner, extending a special welcome to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Special because it is a special day for Ayodhya, for the mega infrastructure projects that are set to be launched, whose foundations are set to be laid today by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Particularly in the context of connectivity, Ayodhya gets an international airport, gets a redeveloped railway station, Ayodhya Dham railway station, new trains such as the Amrit Bharat trains, the Vande Bharat trains that are going to be flagged off by Prime Minister. Ravi, as I mentioned, it's been about 50 minutes since Prime Minister Narendra Modi's roadshow started. What do we know about the stretch of the roadshow, the lanes through which he's passing, and the final destination, I believe, is going to be the newly developed railway station? What can you tell us about the roadshow that continues and the people who are thronging on both sides of the road to welcome Prime Minister non-stop?